Hi, everyone. Thank you again for joining us for another segment of Women Entrepreneur in the Central Valley, Self-Made Women. Today, I have my friend Aldiva Rubalcava. I'm sorry, I can't say that name.
You actually say it better than me.
Okay, sorry about that. But anyways, she is a self-made woman. She's her own boss. She owns Recovery Credit Repair in Visalia, and I believe you also have one in Fresno, right, Aldiva?
We do in the River Park area, right behind Sam's Club.
Oh, you know what? You're right next to me. So
Oh,
dumb. I've only been yes, I'm in River Park too, and it's so funny. I've only gone to your Visalia office. That's so
yeah.
weird. Well, okay. Anyways, but Aldiva, first of all, I want to thank you for being here and you're giving us your time. I know right now we're going through a pandemic crisis, and I just want to thank you for your time and willing to provide information to some of the people that might be worried right now. But can you please just introduce yourself for just 2 minutes? Tell us who you are, what you guys do, how people can reach you, and then we'll just start, and then we'll get into it.
Sure. Hi, everyone. So my name is Alli with Recovery Credit Repair. We are your credit score improvement specialists. We are local. We're in Fresno and in Visalia. Unfortunately, right now during these times, our doors are closed to the public, but we are still working in the office. We're still helping clients improve their scores every day. We're just not allowing clients to come in to see us. But we are doing phone consultations and we are doing meetings via Zoom. Some of the things that make us different is we do work on your credit reports every 30 days faithfully. We do see improvements. We celebrate your successes with you, and we also educate you on how credit works. So that's been one of our strengths. Most of our power partners are mortgage loan officers and realtors. So if you're looking to buy a home, we know what the underwriters are looking for when it comes to your credit, so we can help get your scores there. If you're looking to buy a car or even refinance your house, that's what we specialize in. So no question is a dumb question. We love to help everyone out.
Yeah. So how long have you been doing credit repair, and how long have you had your two? Because you have two offices, and I know before you had this business, you used to be a contractor, which is so cool and so
Yes.
amazing. And I know you give me a lot of feedback, so thank you for that.
Yeah. So we've been in business. It's actually going to be 5 years this year. November 26th will be our 5th year. Yes, yes. We started off with one employee and now we're up to 12. So we've done really well for ourselves. And again, it's all thanks to all of you out there for entrusting us. And as Vivian did say, I was a licensed contractor for 15 years in the Bay Area, specialized in kitchen and bath remodels. So Vivian and I have a lot in common.
Yep. So Aldiva, I know the reason why I wanted to talk to you is because obviously with what's going on right now, there's a lot of fear. And I think people are getting information from either Google, their friends, and not credible resources. And you as a credit repair person, and also too, because you used to do construction, this whole entire, when 2008, unfortunately, when the house market crashed, and I know I was I was doing construction at that time still too. People lost their homes. People are probably even now still trying to repair their credit. I mean, it was crazy in 2008, and I think people right now are really afraid of the recession. What advice can you give your clients or anybody that's watching this that maybe think, well, I'm not going to pay my bills? And so I don't know. I'll let you explain a little bit more about that. But I think there's a lot of fear, and really just not getting the proper education and proper information.
Right. And I agree with you 100%. I've been hearing a lot of people giving horrible advice out there. The number one thing I hear is don't pay your rent. Don't pay your mortgage. Well, let me tell you about that. If you don't pay your mortgage, the minute you hit that 31st day late, it will ding your scores 150 to 200 points in
Wow.
1 month. Okay.
Wow. That's a
Also,
lot.
I know it's a big hit. You might as well
Yeah.
file BK because that's how many points you're going to get anyways.
Wow.
They're also your rent. A lot of these rental property agencies, they do report your rent to your credit report. So that could be another hit as well. So our advice is reach out to your creditors. Some of you have credit cards that you're paying insurance on and you don't even realize it. And it might be like 2 cents for every $100 that you owe on that card. Well, that's there for a reason, for times like this, for you to pick up the phone and say, hey, I lost my job. Hey, I got laid off, whatever happened. And they will make that payment for you. Not everyone has those plans in place, but it's out there. Everyone knows that COVID-19 is affecting all of us right now. We need to be proactive and not reactive. So don't wait until the last second when you're now 3 months behind in a deeper hole, can't get out of debt. Try to reach out to your creditors now and see what they're offering. They might not offer you anything, okay? But in my world, I always say that if you don't ask, the answer is always no. So you might as well ask because they might have something in place for you. I've heard of some mortgage companies putting your payment at the end of the loan, and there's some forbearance programs out there. So please don't be afraid to ask. Yes, you are going to be on a longer hold time right now. Unfortunately, the call volumes are ridiculous. So you just have to have that little P word, which is patience,
Yeah.
and be on the phone.
Yeah.
But it might pay off in the end for you.
Okay. Yeah, that's really good advice because I mean, I just think people are not getting the right information. And I mean, unfortunately, a lot of people are losing their jobs. I know it's already affected my business. We do remodels, kitchen and bath remodels, and we just had to let go of some of them because unfortunately we had clients that were older and who had underlying conditions. So we just we couldn't. We had to, we just had to let those projects go.
Yeah.
And but how has it affected your business? Has it affected you in any way?
The only thing that it's really affected us in is a lot of clients were, of course, in the beginning, no calling, no showing. They would make appointments and not show up. But now that they realize that they can call us and that we're still here and we're still helping them, that's been the best thing we could have done. We're not working remotely. We are working in the office. But again, our team is all of us are working home. We're not really going out or going anywhere. So it's been helping us continue to service our clients the best way possible. And we haven't had to cut back any hours or anything. We're still working full stream ahead.
Yeah.
And also, I'd like to point out, I'm kind of hoping, and I'm just being a little brat right now, I'm kind of hoping that some of these credit bureaus are going to shut down or lay off some people just because, so by law, whenever we dispute anything, they have 30 days to validate the debt. Well, if there's no one in the office validating the debt and those 30 days exceed, guess what? Those items have to come off your credit report. So I'm hoping that this will work out in our favor and in your favor as well.
To help our credit go up. I know.
Exactly.
I was talking to my friend Lupe. She's a realtor, and she was actually saying that some people, same thing, it's fear really, because obviously we don't know, some people are losing their jobs left and right. It's a scary time.
It is.
People are afraid to buy a house. But with what you're telling people is, if they're, and we suggested that if you're going to buy a house, buy it now when you still have good credit. Would you agree with that? instead of waiting until the house market goes down and then maybe they don't have a job. Maybe the house market might go down, but you may not have a job or you may not have good credit. What would be your advice? I mean, I don't know. I know that's a little bit out of your expertise, but it goes back to the credit.
So here's something that a lot of people don't realize. You don't have to have perfect credit to buy a house. That's a myth.
Okay.
You can have blemishes on your credit. You need to have the right scores. Now, the scores that you're looking at on Credit Karma is based on a Vantage score. So deduct about 45 points, and that's where you're going to be to buy a home. When you're buying a home, your mortgage loan officer is pulling a FICO 2, 4, and 5. So it's a different algorithm according to your bigger purchase that you're making per se. So if you're looking at other apps, people don't understand that there's over 60 different FICO score models out there. So if you're looking at Wells Fargo, that's your score according to them. If you're looking at Capital One, that's your score according to them. If you're looking at Discover, that's your score according to them. So once people understand that this is my score according to whom, you don't get fixated on, I have an 800 score, I have a 750 score, when it's really, you do according to this one algorithm that this particular person's pulling from. So when your mortgage loan officer looks at your credit and they see that you have a lower score than what you think in your mind, don't get mad at them. It's the algorithm that they're required to use to qualify you for that home. But you can have charge-offs on your credit report and still buy a home. You can have certain collections up to a certain dollar amount and still buy a home. It all depends on how old is the debt, how much do you owe, and if you have enough room in your debt to income ratio to qualify for the home that you're purchasing. We do not do loans, so we don't have debt to income questions that we ask our clients because that's none of our business. What we focus on is the credit or the collections that are preventing someone from purchasing a home.
Okay. But that's why they call you.
Exactly.
Don't assume you can't buy a home. Call somebody that has the right information. Just like when you're sick, you would go to the doctor, right? So call people and obviously right now they can't go into your office, but they can call you.
Yes.
So that's good to know. Do you know more or less what the FICO score needs to be for in order for you to qualify to purchase a home?
So some FHAs, you can qualify as low as 580. Now keep in mind that 580 is your middle score. So we have 3 scores. We have Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. Mm-hmm. So your mortgage loan officer will ignore your lowest FICO score and your highest FICO score, and they base your approval or denial on your middle FICO score. So they do have FHA programs as low as 580. I've heard some mortgage loan officers offering even lower than that. I've even heard 520, but don't quote me on that. I believe that VA loans are at a 620. USDA, I think, is 640, but again, don't quote me. And then they have conventional loans as low as 620. And if you need down payment assistance, which is the Cal FHA, it starts at 660. Now, again, full disclosure, I am not a loan officer. I do not do loans. So I just know what the loan officers are looking for. Please reach out to your local loan officer to get more valuable information when it comes to that.
Right. Okay. What was my next question? So basically, if you are still in the process of purchasing a home, don't just disqualify it. Maybe call somebody, like call you, call your loan officer, call your realtor, and see if you qualify. And maybe, I don't know, because we were talking about this the other day, and we were just saying that people want to wait until they, for the market to go down. But again, we don't know if that's really going to happen. We don't know. This could end next week. It could end next year. I mean, we really don't know. So it's just better for you to be prepared. for myself, I wouldn't want my credit to go down just because you really need that, even just to get a
Right.
credit card. And as a business owner, we know how essential it is to have good credit, because then you
Yes,
can't get a business loan, you can't buy supplies, and you can't keep going and growing your business. I mean, as a business person, I think
exactly.
that makes sense for us. But also, I think as a homeowner, you should really like keep looking at your credit, even
Hmm.
if you feel like you don't need it now. It's probably a good, I mean, I would think it's a good way to just, I mean, a good option to just always have your options open and always have a good credit. Wouldn't you
I
agree?
agree. Of course, of course. It's always, I mean, good credit is the best thing, right? You can buy a car at 1.9 APR. You can buy a car at 3% APR. I have some clients who walk in here and my heart goes out to them because they're paying 21% interest on a car loan. They're getting these crazy payday loans at 130%.
What?
Yes,
Why would you
yes.
do that? Oh my
Because,
gosh.
well, because a lot of people, they don't know how to, they're focused on the immediate need. I need $2,500 now. They're not focused on, I'm going to pay back $367 for 48 months, which equals I'm paying back $16,500.
Wow.
So and that's the problem, is that Americans, or anyone in general, we focus on the immediate need. I need that $2,500 now. I'll deal with the rest later. But we're really big on educating people on how to do simple math to avoid big financial mistakes like that. Because once you can whip out your calculator, even on your phone, and just calculate it out really quickly, it gives you a better opportunity to stand up and say no, or I'm going to go ahead and move forward with it. I understand what I'm getting into.
Yeah. So with people losing their jobs right now, and since we're talking about credit, uh, do you think that they should still, I mean, I think you already touched a little bit on it as far as if they're renting and if they're having a home. Um, should they still be like working on their credit? Because you said you don't have to have a really high FICO score to purchase a home, but then again,
Right.
their interest rate might not be that great. Um,
Mm-hmm.
what would be your suggestion, um, or maybe like some tips that you can give them, that people that are just stop paying bills all of a sudden? What would be your
So if you find yourself in a position where you just cannot afford to pay your bills right now, maybe you're paying $1,000 a month in credit card bills, which some people are. There are debt consolidation companies out there. The one I really love and recommend, because they are a nonprofit, is debtcounselingcorp.org. So what they'll do is, any cards, any credit cards that you turn into them, they cannot be in collections. They cannot have charged off yet. Okay. But any card you turn into them, they will either drastically reduce or completely eliminate your interest. And they'll have you pay the majority towards the principal. Any card you turn into them, they will shut down. So that's going to hit you about 50 points on your credit. But they keep making your payments for you on time every month, and you'll be debt free in 3 to 5 years, depending on how much debt you owe. So that's always a great plan B if you can't afford your credit cards right now. Back in 2012, I had lost my job, and I personally went through them. And I went from $760 a month down to $218. In 5 years, I was paid off and my credit was perfect. So, and there's a big difference between debt consolidation and debt settlements. Debt settlement companies, on the other hand, they hurt your credit. They don't help your credit. What they do is, the minute you begin paying them, they stop paying all of your creditors, and then they allow you to go and default and go into collections, and it does not stop anyone from taking you to court. So you have to be very, very careful with debt settlement companies. You always want to ask the right questions. Are you going to be making my payments on time? Am I still going to be receiving invoices from my creditors showing proof that you're applying my payments to my debt, or are you going to wait for my funds to accumulate for you to make a settlement offer? If they say that's what they're going to do, don't do it. They will hurt your credit so badly.
Yeah, that was actually my question that I had for you. How much of it does it hurt your credit? But with the company that you referred to, you're saying that it only affects your credit 50 points, which is really not that much. I mean, if you don't pay your mortgage or your rent or even your credit card, it actually hurts even more. So 50 points doesn't
Exactly.
really seem like a whole lot, right?
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Aldiva. Do you have any more tips that you might want to, because I think this is like a lot of information already. And if anybody
Yeah.
has any more questions, I mean, they have to call you.
Right.
And anything else? I know you guys have been protecting yourself from COVID-19, from
Yes.
like staying home. And thank God you guys are able to do that. And if they were to reach you, they can reach you at your Visalia office and then also your Fresno office. What if somebody needs to drop anything off? And if they can't, just email it? Because I mean, some people don't know how to use email. I know that.
Right. Yeah.
How can they still drop papers off to you? And
So
still be
both
safe?
locations have a slot right next to the front door that they could just stick everything through.
Okay. Okay,
So they
great.
can either scan it, email it, fax it. They could drop it off. We do have clients that are out of state and they just put everything in the mail like once a month and they mail it out to us.
Don't lick it though.
Yeah,
Don't lick the envelope. Put tape on it.
Right. Well, I just get a wet napkin and I get it wet.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I do that too, or I'll put tape on it, but sorry.
Yeah.
So they can mail it. That's
Yes.
one.
Yes.
Yeah. So they don't even have to leave their house, really.
They don't.
Yeah. Perfect.
Some people even take a picture with their cell phone and just email it to us that way too.
Okay. Perfect. Yay. I'm so excited that I got a chance to talk to you about credit.
Yes.
I know there's certain things that we just don't know, and I'm so grateful that you're here and you're providing our community with great credit, great information. I mean, this information that we just talked about, like, I don't know how long we've been on this call for like 20-30 minutes. It's really, really important. It's not just in the time of crisis, but all the time, really.
Always.
Yeah. So thank you, Aldiva. Anything else that you want to share before we close it off?
Yeah, so we are a trilingual company. We speak Spanish, we speak Portuguese. If anyone out there, your family or friends, if they have ITIN numbers, and that's Social Security numbers, we do specialize in ITIN credit repair. So we could do that for them as well.
Okay, that was my next question. I totally forgot. That was my next question, because when I did taxes, we use the I-10, and that's for people who don't actually have a Social Security number. They use the I-10 in order for them to do their taxes. So, because I know we used to use it to do their taxes, so how does that help them with their credit if they were ever to become legal citizens? I don't know how that works. So can you maybe like explain a little bit for people that might not know, like me?
So when you have an ITIN number, you're not supposed to work under that number, but you can file taxes under that number. You can get credit under that number. In fact, Self-Help Credit Union in Porterville, California, and I believe there's one in Fresno too. They do secured credit cards. They do car loans. They do regular credit cards for clients with ITIN. There's a lot of loan officers out there that will do ITIN mortgage loans. So you can purchase a home with an ITIN. Some people, they require 10% down with 5% towards closing costs. Some people require 20% down. And I think I've heard that some people require 30% down. So you really need to investigate and find out what programs are out there for you. But there's a lot of people out there that are ITIN people, and they're homeowners. And so it is a possibility. So don't think just because you have an I-10 you can't buy a home, because yes, you can. Sí se puede.
Sí se puede. So is it, so I guess oh my God, their rates, their interest rates would be higher. Is it because they're kind of like a high risk because they're not actually like citizens, you think?
I don't
I
know
know you're
about,
not a loan officer, but
I don't know about the rates. I don't know if they're higher or not. I know that some loan officers, or not loan officers, but some loan programs do require PMI, which is the property mortgage insurance, and some do not. So it just depends. I mean, like I have PMI on my loan, which is off February of next year. Thank God. But but that's $167 a month that I'm gifting away to the government that I get to put back in my pocket next year.
Yeah.
So, it's everyone's different, and they really need to do their homework and interview who they're going to go with.
Yeah. And I think right now in a time of crisis, and just in general, really, but especially now in a time of crisis, since we don't know when we're going to go back to work. Some of us are laid off. Some of us aren't. Some of us are still working, but or working from home like me. I'm working from home. I'm in my kitchen right now. But my guys are out there because they have to be out there. We do kitchen and bathroom remodels. People don't have kitchens, and they need to have kitchens right now. But I know some people are being laid off or working from home and losing their jobs. So I think it's important to just, keep that in mind, to always have good credit regardless, because if you don't have good credit, like Aldiva just explained, you could possibly still open a credit card, a few credit cards, but then your interest rate is what's going to kill you.
Yes.
Really. So just keep that in mind. You may still be able to get that car. You may still be able to get that house, but your interest rate is really what's going to kill you in the long run. So just keep that in mind. And then also live within your means. Don't get a $1 million home or $2 million home, even if you think you can afford it now. But what about in a year from now? We don't know what's going to happen with the economy, unfortunately. So just live within your means and just be aware of that, things might happen. I mean, I'm praying to God every day that everything goes back to normal, but what if it doesn't? It's such an uncertainty. But, continue to purchase homes, continue to support small businesses, because if you don't support small businesses like mine and Alli's, the economy is just not going to prevail. Because if I think it's 80% of employees right now they're employed through a small business. Is it? I think it's 80%. I haven't researched that for a while, but a lot of our economy comes from small businesses. So just keep that in mind. Try not to be afraid. If everybody's afraid and they're hoarding their money, like they're hoarding toilet paper, I had to say it. They're hoarding their money like they're hoarding toilet paper. The economy is not going to grow. And a lot of us, especially small businesses, we need the support from our local community and from each other. So, don't be afraid. Buy your home. Hire Alli to help you with any credit repair needs, and obviously hire us if you have a leaky bathroom or leaky toilet. We're still available if you need something like that. We're obviously keeping restrictions, and you can go to my website to find out what we're doing for COVID-19. But just be aware of what's going on right now, and just like I said, live within your means and always have a budget for any remodeling. We do that. I work with my clients on a budget. My little dog, he's
But even speaking of budgets, I'm glad you threw out the B word, because a lot of people don't realize, if let's say you're paying $1,200 a month rent right now, and that's comfortable for you, tell your loan officer, I'm comfortable paying $1,200 a month, because if maybe you qualify for a $400,000 home, but that $3,000 a month payment isn't comfortable, they will get you approved where you're comfortable, but you need to be forthcoming with them. Don't get excited about a home that's $400,000 when you can only afford a home that's $250,000.
Right.
You know, really go out and get pre-approved by your local loan officer. I say local because they are the ones in the valley. They are the ones that know what's going on currently. They are your power team, and they will help you. So go meet with a local loan officer, see what you qualify for based on your debt to income ratio and everything else that they look at. And then you already know, if I want to keep a $1,200 a month payment, I can only purchase a home for this much money. And there you go. Then you tell your realtor, I'm approved for this much. You go house shopping and they get to become your Vanna White and go, ta-da!
Right. Well, I'm gonna have to let you go because I forgot to charge my laptop and it's giving me a low battery. Sorry, I don't want to get like cut off. But
It's okay.
But no, thank you so much, Alli, for all the information and for helping your community and everything that you're doing, especially now during these hard times.
Yes.
And I just pray that you continue to, have your employees and that they are not laid off, because obviously we all need to work.
Yes.
We were born beautiful but not rich.
Right?
No, I'm just kidding. It's true. So we have to work, unfortunately. But yeah, no, thank you, Alli, and we'll keep in touch. Maybe we'll do another Zoom call later as time progresses and see what happens. Even next week, every week it's different. So just stay safe out there, guys, and
You too.
stay safe and stay healthy.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Stay
Thank
safe
you,
and healthy.
Alli. Thank you so much. You have a good day. Take
You
care.
too. Bye.
Bye.